Today I'll be demonstrating how to properly put a snowmobile belt on a snowmobile. So the first thing we'll need is a clutch tool here, looks like that, and the new belt that you'll be installing. So the first thing we'll do is take this side panel off, and I know it's this side panel because when you sit on a snowmobile, it's always your brake side, which side your clutches are on. And so that's obviously on my left side, so you take the left side panel off. So we'll just be pulling these cotter pins here, like that. There, like that. So this side panel should just pop right off, just like that. So we'll set that right there. So when you look at the clutches here, this is your secondary clutch, and this is your primary clutch. Your primary clutch is the shaft that goes to your motor, and your secondary clutch is the drive shaft that spins the track. And so when we look at this clutch, this belt is obviously really tight, so you can't just slip the belt on and put the new belt on. So this is where the clutch tool comes in handy. So it's got a bunch of threads on it right there. This hole right here has threads on it, and so we'll take this clutch tool and we'll be spinning it in there, spinning it in the threads there. Make sure you don't cross thread it because you'll mess up the threads. And so we'll be spinning it in there, and then it'll get tough right there. You can see when you start to screw this in, the belt gets a little bit looser. So when you're spinning this in, what happens is there's a spring inside that secondary clutch that when you spin this clutch tool in, it compresses that spring together and it'll loosen both sides of the clutch. So we'll keep going until it gets fairly loose here. Like that. About good right there. You can see it is very loose now. So you can just slide the belt off the secondary right there. You always do slide the belt off the secondary before the primary. And so we'll go like this. When you slide it off the primary, sometimes it can get a little bit tricky, so you might have to play with it here. So there's your old belt right there. You want to make sure this is a 086 belt. You want to make sure the new one that you're putting on is the same number in 086. And there's little arrows on it right here, because you want to make sure that's pointing forward so the belt rotates the correct way. So when we put the belt back on, we're going to need to put it on the primary clutch before the secondary clutch. So we'll slide it on there like that. It'll just slide on just like that. So it's very loose now, and so I'll take my clutch tool and I'll wind it out here, just like that. Until it's out like that. Put this back on the workbench. And the belt is very loose here, so you can't drive it when it's this loose. And so what we'll do is we'll spin the track like this. Make sure that belt gets tighter from that spring compressing back up in there. Like that. Looks like it's about tight. So what happened is this clutch compressed back together and it is now tight on there. So we'll start it up, make sure everything is everything seems to be looking good. The belt's on the right way, and it's got the correct amount of slack in there. And so we will be putting the side panel back on the same way that we put it on, or took it off. So we'll put that in like that. You can make sure that you get your side panel in the right way. It's not all cockeyed and such. Like that. There you go. Make sure that your little cotter pins will go in here. Like that. We'll strap this right here. Go like that. Alright, this is how you properly install a new belt onto a snowmobile.